All right, we ready to go? All right, everyone. Welcome to the April 24th, 2024 meeting of the Urban Design Commission. My name is Tyler Holmes, and I am the chair of the commission. When called on, applicants and speakers will come to the front podium to speak. Only one person at a time should come to the podium. Please do not approach the podium until it has been vacated by previous speakers. Please speak into the microphone and identify yourself and provide your address for the record when you begin speaking. Address your comments, questions, and testimony to the commission. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. It is unnecessary to repeat testimony previously given by others. Citizens may address the commission on agenda items by responding to chair's call for speakers during discussion on each item and signing the speaker's log at the podium. All comments must be relevant to the item. The chair or presiding officer may, in his or her discretion, prohibit a person from addressing the committee and or remove the person from the council chambers if that person commits any disorderly or disruptive behavior. Please see the agenda for more information about these requirements. If you parked in the Sheridan Walker parking garage north of John Rex Elementary School or the Arts District parking garage immediately south of City Hall, staff can provide you with a validation ticket for you. The agenda and documents are located at https://okc.primegov.com/public/portal. You would then select the Urban Design Commission meeting, then click on the agenda item, and the relevant documents will come up below the item. Keith, will you call the roll?
Holmes.
Here.
Blatt.
Here.
Torneco.
Here.
Dixon-Oso.
Here.
Peoples.
Here.
We have quorum.
Excellent. Okay. We have last month's minutes for March 27th, 2024. If anyone has any questions or any movement, just let us know.
I'll make a motion to approve. That's
I'll second that motion.
All right, minutes are approved. There are no cases withdrawn, and there are no continuance requests. And today on our consent docket, we have UDCA-23-00023, parentheses P2, at 420 Southwest 25th Street.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, this item is on your consent docket because it's an item that we've reviewed as staff and it complies with all the provisions and applicable guidelines we have. You'll note that this is just painting the exterior of the building, and since we don't have any standards in UD for color palettes or anything like that, there are no real standards for it to measure up to, so we just place it on the consent docket for your basically action, either as if you have questions about how they painted it, we can get into that. The details on the colors they used, which just to remind you that the building's already been painted. We can discuss those colors if you like. Otherwise, if there are no issues, you can just make a motion to approve the consent docket.
Do we have a motion?
I'll move approval of the consent docket.
I'll second.
All right, consent docket is approved. We have nothing on the cases for individual consideration, and we do have other business for the Design Review District Consolidation Ordinance to provide a recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is an item that I think we've touched on with the commission in the past. For sure, it was an item that we raised with the commission and all the commissioners that we have and committee members at the Commissioners Committee training session that we had last April. This is an effort that we've begun kind of in conjunction with the overhaul of the city's zoning code. And through the stakeholders process on making changes to the code. Part of the idea that was brought up was to make things more efficient and less cumbersome. One of the ideas that was brought up in that regard was to look at ways to make the design review process smoother and easier and more efficient. What we've come up with is an idea to consolidate the design review bodies, not the districts, and just shuffle, I guess, around a little bit who reviews what. And that will result in the elimination of 3 of the committees and the retention of 2. So right now we have 5. We have I have a presentation here. I should use that. Here are the 5 that we have right now, and you can see that some have very widespread non-accessory or non-abutting areas. The Scenic River area, all those areas are connected along the river. They go from Meridian Gateway on the west to the American Indian Culture Center on the east. And then, as you're familiar with the UD, we have Asian, Paseo Plaza, Capitol Hill, Cottage District, and Lincoln Boulevard, and Uptown Northwest 23rd Street, of course. Based on the activity levels of these 5 districts and based also on the geographic compatibility of some of the districts, we have come up with a way to recombine and, well, this is a little bit of history on the background. Bricktown was established in 1993. It's located just southeast of downtown. Downtown was created in 2007 as a core with 3 different districts in it, DBD, DTD1, and DTD2. 7 members on that commission. Scenic River Overlay Design District, as you can see, it's contiguous along the river from west to east with the American Indian Cultural Center on the east end. 9 members, created in 2007. Stockyards created in 1996, one of the earlier districts. It's a very relatively small district with a hard zoning at the core and transitional zoning district overlay on 4 directions along Agnew and Exchange, east and west, north and south of the core. 5 members on that commission. And then urban design is at 9 members, created in 1998. So here's the current configuration. Bricktown reviews Bricktown, downtown reviews the 3 districts they have. Riverfront reviews the 6 districts they have. Stockyards has the hard zoning and the 1 overlay area. And then urban design has a mixed bag of various districts throughout the city. I want to make sure that everybody understands that the districts themselves and the rules they contain, the regulations and guidelines they contain are all staying the same. Nothing changes in those areas at this point in time. It may ultimately be revised going forward as a zoning code update goes through the process, but with this particular action, all we're talking about is changing who reviews which districts. So in the new configuration and the consolidation, we go down from 5 committees and commissions to just 2. Downtown would handle their 3 existing districts and absorb the Bricktown review process. And then urban design would keep the various districts, overlay districts that they have, and then also take on the responsibility for reviewing cases in Scenic River and Stockyards. With respect to the current configuration of the memberships, this is how urban design is currently configured. This ordinance amendment proposes to adjust that somewhat, mostly to kind of create a spot on the commission for people from the districts that are being absorbed. So we're looking at just trying to have some representation on urban design for possibility of stockyards representatives or riverfront representatives, property owners, business owners, that kind of thing. For the same token, in downtown design review, it's a little bit different here. We are actually adding 2 members from 7 to 9, and part of that would also reserve a spot for representation from Bricktown. The gist of this, and I guess the effectiveness of this, is kind of all played out in numbers. Right now we have 37, I want to say, 37, I think it is, committee members and commissioners on the 5 bodies. With this ordinance amendment, it reduces that number from 37 to 18. And then with respect to the number of meetings that are held every year with the 5 commissions we have right now, we go from 52 meetings, maximum possible, down to 24. This makes things a lot smoother and easier for staff in terms of preparing for 2 meetings a month as opposed to 4 every month. Well, almost every month. And also makes it easier for the mayor's office to keep tabs on the terms and term expirations of 18 members as opposed to 37 members. So from that standpoint, we think there's a lot of efficiencies to be gained out of doing this change. And right now, we are in the midst of our April presentations to all the design review bodies. We've been to the River Trust, and we went to see them, I think it was in March, late March. And then we've started with the design review this month in April. We saw Riverfront on April 4th. We saw Bricktown on April 10th. We saw Downtown Design Review Committee last week on the 18th, and then we're here before you today on the 24th. And just, if anybody's keeping score, the 4 bodies we've been to so far have unanimously recommended approval of this ordinance amendment. After this body today, we have one more body to review, one more design review body to review this ordinance with, and that's Stockyards, and we will see them at their next regular meeting on May 8th. After that, assuming we get strong support from all the committees and commissions, we will be taking it before the Planning Commission in May or June, and then on to the City Council in June or July. At the same time, we are coordinating with the mayor's office. We polled all the members that we currently have as to their interest level in continuing to serve on these design review bodies. I think we had about, I don't know, 5 or maybe somewhere between 5 and 10 said that they were no longer interested in continuing to serve. Much of the rest of the folks were still interested in continuing to serve. Of those, we did have a few that under the new qualification criteria for membership on the 2 remaining boards weren't going to be able to meet those criteria, so they weren't going to be able to serve. So we've kind of created a matrix for the mayor's office of all the people who are currently serving and which slots they might fit in, and some people fit into more than one slot on either UDC or on the Downtown Design Review Committee. And so we're hoping that between now and the end of July that we will have coordinated with them far enough, or they have maybe other applications of people we haven't seen yet, to start thinking about how to reshuffle the membership of the 2 remaining committees. And that hopefully, I think if this gets adopted in July, it would become effective in August, and the first 2 meetings that this would affect would be in September. So hopefully, by the end of August, we will have done enough coordination with the mayor's office to make sure that we have 18 bodies to fill both of those boards. That completes our presentation, and we're prepared to respond to any questions or comments the commission may have.
Would this adjust the time of the meeting? Like, currently it's at 3 p.m. If it consolidated, meetings could get longer. I didn't know if it would go to like 2 or 1.
I didn't quite hear
Like
that.
the time of the meeting, say for urban design or even the others, would it adjust any of the time frames?
Yeah, we've been talking about that with the mayor's office and with legal. And the way it kind of works out, we thought we were going to run into trouble with a lot of people being close to being termed out already.
Michael,
We'd have to-
he's asking about the time of the meeting. When
Oh,
we-
the time
when
of the
we
meeting.
meet.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So we don't plan on changing the time. Downtown will meet when downtown meets. Urban design will meet when urban design meets, and they will absorb those other committees. Stockyards meets quarterly at most, and often they don't even meet that many times. It's such a small district, they rarely have items that go to committee.
Yep.
So that will not impact this body's agenda significantly. River meets more frequently, but they often, similarly to UD, only have, 1, 2, 3 items a month.
Okay.
So we don't anticipate downtown and downtown and urban design being overrun with, and that's kind of how we decided on
Right.
how to combine them. We took our two kind of most active committees and are having them absorb less active design review bodies.
Yeah, that was another aspect of why we combined the bodies we did. We took a look at the level of activity for each of these boards and how long how often they meet, and sometimes how long the meetings are, for like 15 or 20 minutes sometimes, because there's 1 or 2 items. And so we did take that in consideration. And that's the other part of what we were doing, was we kind of feel not so good about. You guys are volunteers, and you have your own lives and your own businesses and all things to attend to. And we kind of feel rotten bringing you down here for 15, 20 minutes and then sending you off on your way. So hopefully by reconfiguring these bodies, you're not going to end up with 4-hour meetings, but you probably end up with maybe an hour or hour and a half meetings. So it makes you more worthwhile your time to come down here and help us out with these reviews. So.
I have a question. Would this, I wrote down a couple of them. So would we absorb the other districts, or would we have to, would we have to, adjourn a meeting and then reconvene as, okay, so we wouldn't have to do that?
No, we'll probably arrange the agenda, so you're going to have your standard UD cases, then you're going to have Stockyards, and we're going to have Scenic River. And we'll probably arrange the agenda with all the UD cases together and all the Scenic River cases together, and they're going to keep their same case numbering system. They're not going to become UD cases. They're going to remain, Stockyards case numbers or whatever, so that's for record keeping and so on and so forth. But we'll probably arrange the agenda so that all the UD cases are together and all the Scenic River cases are together and all the Stockyards cases are together. So, and you won't have to adjourn and then reopen. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, it won't be like when council goes from,
Right.
council adjourns and convenes as the whatever trust and
Right.
adjourns and convenes. Yeah, no, it'll all be Urban Design Commission.
Okay. You mentioned too, something about criteria to serve. Do you have an
Yeah.
idea of what that is?
These are the criteria we talked about. We have these kind of criteria already. That's shown on the left side of the slide. This is for downtown. Let me show you urban design. So our current membership criteria is on the left side of your screen. And it's not really changing all that much. We're keeping it at 9 members. There is a little bit of reorganization in terms of the criteria. We got rid of having one of the members being a member of the Downtown Design Review Committee, and we're kind of more interested in creating a slot for 2 people that are going to be coming in from the the Scenic River or the Stockyards areas. And that way we keep that kind of representation that is kind of already in place for some of the urban design areas. So.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Or do we have a motion to make a recommendation? Is that the idea?
I will make a motion to recommend that this be forwarded to Planning Commission.
With
That right?
approval or denial?
No, with approval,
Okay.
yes.
I'll second.
It is passed. Let's think. Communications, we have a list of things here. I don't have any questions on anything there. Anyone have any comments on any of those items?
No, just those are the administrative cases that have been approved since our last meeting on March 27th. You'll note that the first item, A1, is part 1 of the consent docket item on the same agenda here we have for today. And then the others are just signage and also signage. So nothing very earth-shattering there for you.
Any comments from planning?
I will just note, as Michael touched on, we don't anticipate, well, you all will continue to meet. Don't take us off your calendar with the whole committee consolidation thing. The schedule shouldn't change. We don't anticipate the membership changing, other than for anyone who has indicated they'd prefer not to continue to serve. So anyway, we hope to still continue to see you guys all summer long. You may have noticed that you haven't been getting emails about a commission training. We decided to hold off on that this spring, and we will do a training in the fall, most likely, when the committees have reconfigured themselves. We might like rent a little bus and drive you guys around Scenic River and Stockyards, maybe go eat at Cattleman's, get everybody familiar with their new areas. So stay tuned for more on that.
Awesome. Any comments from commission members? All right. Our next meeting date will be Wednesday, May 22nd. We are adjourned.
Yes, we bribed you guys with bribes. Thank you.